All right, hey everybody, this is John and welcome to the free videos. And let's dive in here. We have a tale of, I'd call it about 3 different markets. So the S&P 500 is the most broad-based market. Here you can see that 200 period SMA. We've been trading below it. We've been, the rally that took place here happened in 15 days, and for the last 15 or so days we've been trading sideways, and we got a big old squeeze setting up. And the question is, from here, are we able to break out above our 200 period moving average and go, or are we going to roll over and start the process of retesting our lows? So that's the middle ground market. The high ground market, of course, no surprise, is the Qs. You've got Google, you've got Microsoft, you've got Amazon, you've got Netflix, you've got Facebook that are actually all doing well, and they make up a huge portion of the Qs. So they've actually busted through their 200 period SMA, and the decline today stopped to the T at the 21 EMA. So for all practical purposes, the uptrend in this index is fine. But keep in mind that this is all also on the backs of the 5 largest stocks. There's definitely a lot of stocks that are not having the same performance, and we don't want to fight anything that's going on here. We just want to understand it. The other market here is the transportation sector. This sector has been the most hard hit and is well below its 200 period SMA. This is my favorite hedging sector. So we have a squeeze here. We did buy puts on this. We covered them today because we're getting a little extended. I would add to them on any rally back to that daily 21 EMA, which is around $143. So if we can get there, early next week, boom, I would like to reload on puts. And then the other thing I like here is kind of a hedge is TLT. This, of course, represents the bond sector. And it was kind of weird. We did have a squeeze that fired short here, but I don't know if you guys know this or not, but the Fed is coming in and they're buying all corporate debt ETFs. Now, is that directly going to impact TLT? Of course, it's not the same thing, right? But I'm curious here to see if there's some spillover into that. So LQD is an example of the corporate debt sector where the Fed's coming in hot and heavy and buying, and this is another play that can be done as well. All right. Okay. All right, so I want to review a couple of setups that we did in the room today, and the 2 setups were in Coop, which is this one, and then Shopify. And so I want to show you what we're looking at here. So you got a weekly chart here. You can see there's a squeeze, and it seems extended, right? The daily, there's nothing on it. And then if we look at the hourly, and of course this is the old squeeze, it's like, well, okay, so why is this a buy here? What makes this interesting? What makes this a high probability opportunity? All right, so the first thing is that I'm looking at is, of course, now this is the new tool that we released where you can see squeezes on multiple time frames. Okay, so now I can see at a glance that there's a black dot squeeze on the weekly chart, and then there's a slew of squeezes here on the hourly, the 30, the 20, and the 15, and of course there's these down here. So what interests me in something like this is, A, we do have a bigger term squeeze that could fire at any time. We've got some middle tier squeezes that can kind of get the party started. And then if you see a 1 minute squeeze, it's fine. Typically, you get a 1 minute squeeze that fires, it's good for 2 or 3 points, but that also might be enough to get the party started and trigger the 15, okay? Now, the one thing here that I like to look at from here then is the bottom row of this bottom subset here, which I think is even more important. And what this is telling us is that on the monthly through the daily, the histogram of the squeeze is light blue. What does that mean? Light blue means that it's above 0 and rising. Okay, that's very bullish. Now, the 4 hour and the 2 hour are dark blue. That just means that it's above 0 but falling, and that's okay. And that's short-term bearish, but also the idea here that could turn in the direction of the larger time frame. But last, what I'm looking for here and what I really like is a slingshot squeeze in the direction of the larger trend. So what does that mean? Look at this hourly chart. Yellow simply means that the red has finished and it's turning yellow, and you're looking for that slingshot higher in the direction of the momentum of all the larger time frames. Okay, these have always been very hard to find, but now you can look at, you can find them fairly cleanly and fairly easy with this. So now I can drill down to the hourly chart. So here's the hourly chart. What do I mean by the slingshot trade? Right here, boom. So you can see that we're starting to turn here, and if I back up a little bit here, I thought there was, yeah. So the idea with this is that when you get the turn of the momentum here, Okay, there's the turn. While there's still a squeeze and the larger time frames have positive momentum, that's when you get that slingshot up. Those tend to turn into your biggest moves. All right, so that was one. And then the other one that we were looking at there, and it was the same setup, was Shopify. So in Shopify, of course, it's like, man, this stock has already, come so far so fast, and there's not, unlike Coop, which had a weekly squeeze, Shopify up here, it doesn't have any big, there's no squeezes here. Green dot just means that there's no squeezes. There's no compression of volatility on those time frames. But boy, oh boy, you got red squeezes on the hourly through the 15, then you got a couple of black squeezes here. Momentum, of course, on all the larger time frames is bright blue, which is very positive. Dark blue is okay, it's a little soft, but it's above zero. Boom, slingshot. Okay, so if we zoom in here on the hourly, you can see we got a beautiful slingshot trade setting up here on Shopify. How does that work? All right, so here you can see we had a slingshot on the hourly. Boom, the stock goes from like 700 to 780. Now we just got the first slingshot here. Okay, remember that's below zero yellow that's the turn, it's positive, and you're looking for that slingshot to where it turns bright blue and pops back up here and in the direction of this. All right, so I love both of those trades, looking for some continuation moves there. Okay, so what is all this? Well, this is part of the class that I'm teaching on Saturday. Okay, so if you go to simplertrading.com/hidden, we will be doing this at 10:30 a.m. Central. It's going to start on Saturday. If you can't make it, it's okay. It'll be recorded. This will be the indicator install session, and then I will start at 12 noon Central on Saturday. Now, the setup that I just showed you on Shopify and Coop, that's one of the strategies that I'm going to be going through. But the fact now that we've got 18 time frames of squeezes and 18 time frames of histograms has never before happened in the history of trading. I've been doing this a long time. I'm super excited, super jazzed up about it, because now we're able to find, frankly, the cleanest of the clean setups that are happening, and we can nail it down. So, and this is something I've been showing my kids how to do. It's been amazing watching them do this. All right, so what all does this entail? So I'll go through this just real quick. So this class is going to be on Saturday, which is 5/16. Already talked about it. And the class includes the strategy, the multi-squeeze pro indicator, the bonus session with Eric, how to get everything set up, and this is how you find a lot of these trades, a free 30-day trial to our scanner. And we've got a web-based scanner that takes into account a lot of the stuff to at least give you an actionable list, and then you run the actionable list through the chart. So it'll save you tons of time, but it'll also find you candidates that you would never even have considered before. It's incredibly powerful. The pro version includes all of this from this class, plus you get the multi-histogram indicator. If you remember, that was the one at the bottom that showed you is it blue or yellow or red, okay? And 2 days of live trading. This will be the following week, Tuesday, Thursday, the following week during market hours. And then this last one includes all of this as part of that, but also an extra 2 days of live trading. Okay, so why the live trading? The reason for the live trading I found is that when I was learning to do this, I would go to these seminars and everything was taught by PowerPoint. And of course, you're looking at something in PowerPoint, it looks all perfect. Like there's no way you could have lost money on that. But then you get into the markets in real time and it's like, oh my God, is this something I should really be doing? And the analogy I use is like, if you've never played golf before and your boss is like, yo, Charlie, we need you for a foursome on Monday. Okay, yes, sir. And you've never played before, so you spend the weekend reading books, right? So on Monday, you're a book expert on golf, but when you go back to swing that club, it's going to be a disaster. Why? Because you haven't actually had any practice with a pro. It's like, hey, you're squeezing that too far. You need to drive your shoulder back. So the idea with the live trading is that we can look at things in real time. I talk out loud while I'm trading, and you can see like, why did I do it or why did I not do it? Of all these setups, why did I narrow it down to these three? Wow, this thing's not working. At what point do I cut it loose? It's real money trading. You can follow along. So what's great about these is that, first of all, of course, we learn to use the tools here, and then during the live trading, we just do them in action. So anyway, it's going to be a great class. I'm super excited about this. If you go to simplertrading.com/hidden, there's a lot more information. and I'm looking forward to working with you guys on Saturday.